Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. So we've already pushed from chapter 2 into chapter 34-40, making a ton of progression. And the Misty Valley is up. This is something that we have to complete kind of on auto repeat at this point. The Misty Valley is kind of on a repeat cycle that we've seen time and time again. But undeniably, you have an absolute insane amount of rewards out of here. Not only the gold, but the essence, the EXP. There is a ton, as well as, of course, heroes. So every blue stone, you do get 2 elite or rare heroes. And then through the purple stones, you do get the elite heroes, which is good. It's Valley time. What's going on, Milton? Thanks for joining us. And then, boom, the Poe coins. This used to be 300 when we started. They upped it to 450 a while ago. The Misty Valley. And of course, the big thing is the selectable rewards. So you can go ahead and choose what you want to out of here, including a hero, red chest, Poe coins, a ton of stuff in here. What's going on, Minty? Pretty late there. Pixel Foxy, Guardian, Dark Blaine, and the Mailman. Got to an AF. What's going on, Soldier Boy? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the Misty Valley started. Once we go through our 10 stages here, because the rest of it is locked, we're going to hop over to the Abyssal Expedition. I know a lot of players have questions on essentially how well we're doing there, which we'll take a look at it. So here, first team, of course, is Light Bearers up first. And a lot of this, they keep the same. I mean, some parts of this do not change, just like this. We can run Ein through a majority of it, as long as we have our 4 Light Bearers in here. Should be able to with his ult. I know I should have put Rowan up top. My bad on that one. But ultimately, not very difficult to get through here. And it is a ton of rewards. That's really the big thing here. What's going on, Javid? I have given my kidney to build Respin to Ascendant. Oh, nice, Pixel. So Pixel is actually donating body parts to build heroes. That is the first time. What's going on, Pluto? I'm almost finished with chapter 17. Getting there, Guardian. Little by little, chapter 17 will go down. All heroes in the formation must be the same class. So now it has to be all Light Bearers. So that's kind of a little bit of a change. Before it was just a 4 of them, but now the hard mode on this one is all the heroes have to be the same, which I don't think should be too difficult, especially with the crowd control that Rowan supports. But it's hard to kill Rowan back here. There's another stun. Boom, we should have this down. Or same class, not same faction. That's right, so same class. Let's go Ranger. So we'll drop some heroes out of here. Again, I love how they changed this up. It's very, very cool to see. We'll go. And look at that. We got a new sub, King Bell, right off the bat. Got my Ular to 3 stars, plus 30 and 9 of 9 last night. He is very good, running him with Scrag and the evade team. That is the team, Soldier Boy, that I wanted to build him on. Now, again, I have heard that that is the best team by far to run Al on or Ulard on. Is that combination. So I'm very, very stoked to hear that it is working. And I figured between, do you run Cetrana and do you run Scrag and Titus? Because I know a lot of players have been down lately with Titus, that he's not performing that well. It is kind of what I've heard. Titus was a really, really good hero, but as we continue to add more heroes to this game, not as useful. In the Mauler Tower, still doing amazing, but I've heard in the campaign, not really the best is what I'm hearing. So here we need Maulers. So let's swap out. We'll pull these back. We'll drop our giant Eins in there, which does absolutely amazing. And we'll have a tank up front. We'll give him a buff right there. Let's see how this one goes. This event seems to cater to endgame players. It is a little bit further, Matt. You do have to be, I think it is 15 or 16. So you do have to be pretty, oh, we got the third one too. Defeat at least 3 enemies with the same hero. Oh, that was easy with Eins. I have the same problem, Matt. If you're coming in here on the free-to-play account, I cannot get past the first battle. So I've actually ran this first battle as on the free-to-play account multiple times, Matt, and I cannot get the battle down. I've tried different formations. I've borrowed heroes, even borrowed Eins. Cannot get the first battle down. I don't know what it is, so I definitely feel it is catered a little bit more towards the end game for that fact that it is super, super hard. We got Wilders in this one. So let's pull back our Maulers. We'll throw in some Wilders in here. Looks like a good team. Scrag, Ullard, Zafriel, Athalia, Cecilia. Oh, that's a good team. So that's not much of the Scrag Invade. The Scrag Invade is mostly Maulers. So if you got a Light Bearer, 2 Celestials, which I don't have Zafriel and I don't have Athalia. Cecilia, I have. Bloody Star. Titus is used with 5 pull, but you can replace him with Gorgo or Queen. So essentially, Bloody Star. I've used him for that combination, so I've actually been running him a little bit with that combination. And with the 5 pull, Titus instantly dies. I haven't seen a hero that dies as fast as him. Literally, it takes 2 seconds and he is dead. If I put in a tanking hero, if I put in somebody else in that combination, does really, really well. When I've ran Titus in there, even I have him at a plus 20 signature item. I have some of his furniture. I also do have him completely geared out. I cannot get Titus to live. And he's back row for the 5 pull. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel like maybe Saurus in there. I think there's a couple other combinations that I would probably use a lot differently than those. But I don't know. I love the Scrag Invade, though. Once they did his furniture, absolutely awesome. I love the way that they built that hero. He is very, very cool. You know what? Let's have Nara just grab somebody over here. Hoping we can just get Ein's ult. Boom. Takes just about a majority of the team. And of course, man, Thorin is very difficult to deal with if you guys haven't seen. Very, very difficult. Does Lilith have a good reason why they don't let us clear the entire valley right when the event starts? Why wait a week? Honestly, Augusto, they just do it for progression. So essentially, AFK Arena still tries to claim or still has a claim to fame that it is still an AFK game, that you don't have to put, a really, really high investment into it, which, of course, as many of us know, that's really not the case. I think a lot of the AFK aspect of this game is gone because there is so much to do within the game itself. But that's the only reason that I can think of why they don't want to release the entire Misty Valley at all at one time, is just due to the fact, the AFK nature of it. What's going on, AirTap? As a free-to-play, I can attest that it is difficult for free-to-play players, but eventually you will need to get a point where you go through. It's fine as long as you can merc. Yeah, absolutely. Going through here again, which we need, I think, Gorvo and Respin in this one. Yep, Gorvo and Respin. So we'll keep, you know what, let's see if we can drop anyone in the Resonating Crystal. This thing is always completely full, even when we built slots for it. You know what, we'll drop out. We should be able to do it without it, is what I'm thinking. Why we can't use only one merc in the campaign? They do limit it. They limit it, Guardian, because they don't want you to just borrow a really, really powerful hero and then essentially just burn through a ton of the campaign. They really do limit it, and they limit it a lot with what you can do in the campaign. Yep, as soon as we're over this, Hills, I know a lot of players have asked. We'll go through and look at the Abyssal Expedition, kind of see where we're running right now, what's kind of on par with where we're at. We're making a lot of progression through there. Scrag Invade doesn't need mainly Maulers. It just revolves around Scrag 9 of 9 and any Invade heroes you want, not faction specific. Yes, definitely agree with you, Soldier Boy. I don't have Scrag 9 of 9 yet. I'm getting a lot closer, but as of right now, I do not have Scrag completely built, just like a lot of heroes. But after this, we can summon up some furniture. We're still waiting for Respen. I think we have one more day till we can open up that desired hero summons. Achieve victory, celestial dimensionals, and within 15 seconds. I'm thinking here, let's go with Joker and Ezio might be a decent comp. I want to see what we can get done with this one. Because I'm hoping the nuke, and then I think we got it. Boom. There we go, guys. All done in one. Very, very cool. I've seen a player sub in Rain in the Mauler Invade. Yeah, Rain is very, very unique. So Rain is a hero that essentially boosts the damage on one opposing hero by 30% if you have her furniture. She can work. The thing with Rain is there's so many heroes now, it's very, very hard to put her in. I mean, if you're short on heroes, if you're running the 5 team comps, but there's usually a lot better heroes that you can sub in there versus running Rain. I mean, she has her use, but again, there's usually a lot of different heroes that you can put in just as a sub versus running Rain is essentially what we found out a lot of times. Sierra's go over Nakaru synergize with Respin, adding the knock up to the stuns. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Respin very much, but guys, Respin is very, very good. I've seen him late game. I've seen him end game. Very, very strong hero. Achieve victory without any mage or support. So no mage or support. So we'll drop out a mage. We'll drop out support. You know what? Let's go. That's support. We can go with a warrior. You know what? We'll grab Pippa and Gorvo. And no mage. So who should we go? Maybe ranger? We'll give this one a try. Again, just really trying the RNG here, which it's probably not going to work. Is the Might Tree better for this AE? I've seen Isolde and Saurus does well. So Bloody Star, essentially in the Abyssal Expedition, Isolde and Saurus are both heroes that are very, very specific to boss killing. They have more boss killing ability pretty much than anyone else. That is essentially what they're built for. And that is only what they're built for, is the ability to absolutely destroy bosses. So when it comes to fights, of course, in the battle, they're going to perform well. But overall, the celerity heroes, the big thing with celerity tree is they have dodge. That's really the big thing. The most noticeable thing, I would say, is the ability to dodge a lot of the incoming damage, which is strong. Which here we might need. Doesn't seem like she's really doing too much on the banish. Alna is a warrior. Again, I'm just really swapping heroes in here that I think will work, especially with the slow. If we can get the crowd control down. Alna is very strong as well, guys. Isolde 390-20 with Saurus and SI 30. Bubby, Fearful of Essence going 30 with support is good. Yeah, so essentially, why is this event is hard? Arland, so essentially, if you're earlier in this event, again, we had said this a little bit earlier, as free to play, I'm still to the point I cannot beat the first camp in here. It's supposed to be based on your overall power, but the heroes that I have to use in the Misty Valley on the free to play account is very, very limited, meaning that when I'm fighting other team comps in here, I don't have the heroes to support it because I don't have 4 strong maulers. I don't even have an ascended mauler in the formation or in the free to play account yet. So essentially, until you have multiple heroes built, it is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult building them in here. And it just honestly takes time. That is really the big thing. And I hate dealing with Wukong. Wukong in the campaign is very, very difficult to deal with. But I'm hoping with our Mauler team and Irons, we can probably just get lucky with an alt. Or maybe even 2. Oh, Irons got it done. Look at that before Tailing came up. Very, very cool. Yeah, Arland, that's really the big thing. It's very difficult because you don't have the heroes to support what they're looking to do. So you might be able to achieve a victory in battle. A lot of time with the silver and gold challenges, you won't be able to complete because you don't have the heroes. And that's the exact same problem I have on the free to play, is I don't have the heroes to really support the event, unfortunately. What chapter do I need before I unlock the Misty Valley? I believe, Dave, it is 16. If anyone knows off chance, but I believe it is around 16 that you need. Achieve victory with 5 different faction heroes. So 5 different factions. So we'll go light bears. We'll go with our boy Rowan in there. Sophia to boost up Eins. We can go for a little bit of haste. And then here, you know what? We'll go with Thorin because he's a monster tank. Not sure how it's going to work out, but I think Eins can ult really, really early. I'm hoping Rowan just provides some crowd control. Eins ult so fast. Absolutely crazy. I think if you're below chapter 25, I doubt you can get all the stars in the Misty Valley just because of lack of good team. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. So when you're lower, even at 25, it might be a little bit difficult because one, the Celestials and Hypogean heroes you're not going to have built. You don't have enough mercs to essentially go through here and win the battles, especially the ones that are the 4 Celestial heroes. I think it's this last one. Right here, achieve victory with 4 Celestial Hypogean Dimensional heroes. A lot of players, especially if you're new to the Misty Valley, I don't have those either. I don't have enough to complete even that achievement. Even with 1 hero merked for this, I still will not have enough heroes to do that essentially. Is there any endgame that I can add with good Ascended heroes? I really want some good mercenary heroes. Oh, Aaron's looking for a player. So if someone's got room on the friends list that you're merking some heroes. So here we got Wilders again. So we'll swap back to our Wilder team. And this is honestly a team you use for a ton. So looking in here, the Iran with the Leica does really well. Namora, Tassi, Saurus do amazingly well. Pippa is good, Lorzen's good, Gorvo's good. But ultimately, especially with Saurus and his heal ability, there is a ton of people that run him in a ton of formations. And he works very, very well. Yeah, now with Eins, unless you're one of the unfortunate heroes that did not get Eins, without Eins, you're just going to be short because you don't have Eins. So it contains Ullard and Cecilia. So I don't even know if we got him yet. Did we unlock him last time? Oh, we did unlock him. And then Cecilia. So let's see what we got here. So we'll do Ullard there. I know we have Cecilia up here, which she is getting pretty strong as well. And I'm thinking let's go with our 2 friendly tanks just to get some ults off there. Is what I'm hoping. Boom, we got the immunity. Should have an ult. Look out some heroes there. Maybe if we can get Eins to ult again. There we go. Enemy team is a nightmare. On this stage, oh. Yeah, this stage was the nightmare. Anyone that has Khazard, Zephyriel, even Orthos, very, very tough, as well as Flora. Flora is difficult in the campaign. If you're fighting Flora, she's very, very tough. I pushed to chapter 40-44. Very nice phase. So he pushed to 40-44. That is absolutely crazy. Chapter 40, we're not even remotely close to there, but that is crazy. To push to chapter 44, that is such a crazy amount of progression. What level are you on, FaZe, to push chapter 40? All right, so we got Graveborns in here and then alts. Let's go ahead and we'll swap our 4 Graveborns in. Remember, he's going to give us a boost. I'm thinking, let's go this route. Let's just alt Eins. I just want to see what we can do here. I don't even think we need the other alt. I think we just got one there. I decided to not build Eins, and I agree. Felt sorry for... Oh, to not buy Eins? Feel sorry for myself, Pixel Foxy. Biggest regret I've ever had in the game. Yeah, Augusto. Eins is an absolute monster. There's very few heroes in this game. When you look at Talene, when you look at Eins, that really do what they do, and that's it. It's so niche that it can work everywhere. Either you don't have the hero, which it's going to be a huge letdown for what he can do, essentially. A lot of players, even in the Trial of God, are just running Eins in combinations and finishing the entire thing very, very easy, which Lilith is well aware of that. they are well aware of the issues that players are having with Eins. So ultimately, that's why they're looking at possibly making a way to borrow them, or possibly making like a way to respec them, or there's going to be kill 3 backline heroes first. So again, a couple different combinations that they're looking at. So essentially, most players can get Eins without having to sacrifice pretty much everything, or just not getting them at all. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they come up with this. And I'm thinking if we can pull those 2 in, I think this is the formation we went similar last time. I think this one might take a couple times to get the enemies in the back line killed first, but I think we can do it. Look at Kren, man. Just a monster. If you guys haven't seen Kren in action, we can even slow this down because Kren is very, very strong. Once he hits those bombs back here, Kren just got burnt on that one though. And of course, Greg is hard to kill too. I don't know if we killed backlines there. Nope. So again, we're just going to have to give this one a little bit of RNG. 678. That is crazy, FaZe. Yeah, exactly. We're on 390, so to be on 678, that's exactly where you need to be. I'm sure at that point, probably everyone is maxed out. But that is very, very strong. I wonder if we do, say maybe, I'm thinking maybe Joker in this one. Just because I know we can probably get him to ult, or everyone's just going to die, depending on the team comp we got here. I've got a question for the AE. Do you want your tiles to connect to others or not and keep one space? No, Thomas, that is the 100% opposite of exactly what you want to do in the AE. You want all of the tiles connected. When you connect your tiles, it turns them green. That is essentially what you want. You want everyone's tiles to be green because you want them connected. The point is when there's multiple bosses, the top and the bottom boss, you want to stack essentially one. Switch to Iran to Astrilda and hope Gwen is fast enough to kill the back line. We can try there. We could try Astrilda and see, because I'm thinking, what if we swap Leica in this combination? We have her boosted, so that's what I'm kind of hoping. Or we could actually swap Cecilia in here too, now that I was just thinking about it. Even if we swapped in Cecilia. Let's see. What's going on, Layla? Board is here. We got this. Board has arrived, guys. We're just trying to kill this backline. I know this is the one that a lot of players absolutely hate, is killing the backline heroes first. Because it does take an RNG factor. Again, we got Kren there. I don't think we're going to kill first. Even there, he dodged. Might have an Oscar still up, though. Arthur is just getting worked. Are you doing AE today? After the Misty Valley, I think we only have one more stage, guys. When we get this stage done, we can hop over. We're going to hop over to the Abyssal Expedition. The thing with the Abyssal Expedition is there's really not that much to do as far as the Abyssal Expedition. It's very, very slow progression. I can show you guys where I'm at and kind of the tactics we're using, but most of it is just relatively speaking, just time. Time essentially is the best thing. Use Rose. Yeah, we could swap Rose in here. Problem is I always have Rose follow other heroes, which is the problem that I find. I'm not sure if we killed the top one first. Let's see, because if we swap Rose in here, I think Rose is going to follow Ainz unless we change it up a little bit. I think we might have got the back row there. But no, Oscar's up here. So who is the top? No, there we go. We got it. Very cool. All right, think, bro. Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. Make sure that everything is connected. Has to be connected in the Abyssal Expedition. That is the biggest fault of any Abyssal Expedition, is breaking the lines too early, and you're essentially stuck. So you'll have a lot of players that are stuck, or they're going to burn all of their stamina to absolutely go ahead and catch up to you. Is just going to burn all their stamina. When they get up to the initial raid, they're going to be left behind, or they're going to be stuck because they have no more stamina to take tiles. The other thing is making sure that you're not pushing progression so fast that you're leaving other heroes behind, that you're not leaving other players behind, which is very, very tough to do. Because if you're leaving the other players behind, then they're stuck. Then they're stuck the exact same way, where they can't make the progression, unfortunately. Yeah, Nako frontline. Nako I don't have built. Mailman, very strong in this one, but the Gwen comp got it done with Ainz. I figured that would get it done. So we have 3 more days till we finish out the rest of the Misty Valley, but I want to do some summons. We got some copies of Ullard. This is what we're looking for, guys. If you've seen the video last night, we need Hero EXP. More than anything, we've been buying it every single day religiously. We also do get a ton of stones out of here, which is awesome. Again, making a lot of progression. So we got 4 elite hero stones. Let's see if we can get another dimensional or a hypogen hero, which we got not bad. We got Cecilia, we got Kaz. Kaz we're building. We have Pharrell and then some Mauler food. So that is a good pull there. Diamonds we're saving. Remember, we only have a little bit more. We have 1 day, 5 hours till we can go ahead and build Respen. We have 30 scrolls, which we pulled out of the Abyssal Expedition. So we'll go ahead and we'll use those. Hopefully Ullard, hopefully Respen. Those are really the 2 that we're focused on right now building. Kren is already done. We have him up to Ascended. And I've been using Kren in the Abyssal Expedition, which we got an elite there. It is on Tundra. I've been using Kren in the Abyssal Expedition. Very, very strong. I like how he works. I like him with the team. I've run him with Titus, a lot of the pushback heroes, but he seems like he's been performing very, very well so far in the Abyssal Expedition, which we'll take a look at in just a minute. So here we have 3 full pulls here. Not too bad. 5 more rares. Pull number 2 brings us 4 more rares, and the final pull, boom, just brings us 1 elite hero there, which is Rain. So not too bad. Yeah, Kren is a very, very strong hero. I've liked him since we've built him. We've used him a significant amount. Stargazers, we don't have any cards at this point, but that gives us a couple more heroes, including another star on Cecilia, which is a hero that I am using religiously. She is probably one of the top performing heroes in the Abyssal Expedition. She can take down targets by herself, especially squishy targets like casters, can destroy them very, very fast. She's kind of a hybrid Athalia is essentially how I kind of classify her. Ton of people went Celerity, so gotta test Might. Yeah, I know. We have Celerity, we have Might, and we have the Sorcery Tree are really, really the 5 or the 3 that you're looking for out of the Abyssal Expedition. We don't know which one's really going to perform the best as of right now, just because we haven't seen the bosses. So we haven't got to the second bosses. We haven't got to the final boss to see. I'm sure if it goes back to any of the other Abyssal Expeditions, the Might Tree with tank bosses or the tank heroes, the Isolde and the Warriors with Saurus perform really, really well when it comes to the boss, but it's just getting him there. Hey, quick question. Who should I prioritize for the new AE, the new Support Light, or the new Ranger Wilder? Kevin, it really depends on what you're going for. So if you're going Celerity, definitely go with Respen. support is not going to be the main tree. Support is just as it says. That is very, very strong build. Anime Girl, I just got my celerity to level 3. Should I move to another? Not right now. Which essentially, let's go through a few heroes here. We'll see if we can build anyone. And then we'll move over into the Abyssal Expedition. 5-star Ainz. Ezio, Belinda, Rain, and Taylene. Yeah, Phase. That's a very, very strong combination. All right, so we still have 4 here. We still have 4 of Oscar with 4 stars. So nothing there but food. So essentially here we do have quite a bit of food. But remember, guys, we're building Ullard essentially when we get him built up. So we have 1, 2 for him, and then 1 kind of elite plus, which we can build. And again, we're just going to sit here on the food right now with our legendary plus. So we've got 2 copies right here for Ullard to eat, or Al to eat, and then we have 1 there to take him all the way to Mythic, so we're good there. Remember, we already have Kren built with the Mauler account, so we have a little bit of food here. We were building Verk, which Verk does very, very well in the Abyssal Expedition, but then again, I went Celerity. Him with his traps, so if the enemies come on the allied side, he has traps set up, which is very, very strong. He performs really well, especially with his ultimate ability. It is very, very strong. So here we only have 1, 2, 3. I don't think we have anyone extra that we've built as of now. So we got 4 there. We got 4 there. Did we ever build Brutus? I don't think we built Brutus. No, we haven't built Brutus, but we don't have any copies of Sophia. So the Maulers just need 1 more Elite Plus, and that will be set there. I like Cecilia, cheaper alternative to Athalia. Yeah, Pixel Foxy, that's my thought exactly. She's a cheaper version. So that's why in the store I go with Aziz first, is because Cecilia is the cheaper version of what you can kind of add out. Derbucci, greetings everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. Ultimate skill can stun an enemy with furniture, stuns more than 1 enemy. Yeah, absolutely love it. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Derbucci. We have a lot of people from actually all over the world. On the test server, my guild has already beat the second boss. We're right at the second boss, Toxic. Is where we're at. What's going on, Monsty? Thanks for joining us for the stream. There's only 78 Ascended heroes in the game. I have 75 right now. Wow. That's definitely getting there. All right, so the Wilders, again, we are building Respen. Unfortunately, we didn't get a copy of him. Out of the Misty Valley, we'll get 1 to take him to Mythic Plus. I already have double Legendary Plus down here. So 1 I'll take to Mythic. That'll be Mythic Plus. 4 more copies. We'll take him to Ascended, and then it's on to Al. Ullard will go ahead and build. So we already have Kren done. Respen will be done, and then we're moving on to the Lightbearer. So even here, that's all we have. We have Cirrus. We have Almas. We do have Kaz is already built. Everyone else is built. Guys, so the Wilders are very, very close to being done. So they are almost done. Same with the Graveborn. We have 4 here with 5 stars. So Kelthar we can completely finish. Baden, again, we have 4 with 1 star there. Double food. Torn we're trying to build, so we need essentially 2 Elite Plus, and then we can build up Torn. He'll be done. And of course, the Celestials, we're building Orthos. Here, I'm probably going to build either Zolrath or Mizoth. Haven't really came up with that yet. What's going on, guys? We got a brand new follower there. If we're building Zolrath or we're building Mizoth, and then, of course, the Dimensionals are done. So not too bad. We definitely have quite a few heroes to build. Let's go ahead and look at the Oak Inn. We're keeping our list the same. We have several heroes that we're looking to build. 2 cards on the table, but this is the core heroes. So essentially, Pharrell, we want to max out. Arthur, we want 3 of 9. Lucy, we want max out. Isolde, we want max out. Kren, we're going to max out essentially for a smoke bomb, but I think with Kren, we can take him out. Flora, we're going to max out. We just have a lot of heroes here. So essentially, we'll drop out Kren with where he's at. I want to drop in Orthos. Orthos, we don't have any yet, but we know we're going to build him next. Thorn we want. Oden we want. We got a solid team there. Very, very solid team. Has anyone reached chapter 30, 40, or 30? Yes, there are a few players in 30 or 40, or excuse me, 39 or 40. There's a couple. Yep, there's a couple in 40 that are in global. So let's go ahead. We got 17,000 Poe coins. Again, completing the Misty Valley, guys. The Poe coins you get out of there, the heroes you get out of there, the stones you get, as well as the rewards themselves. Very, very good, which there's another piece for Lucy. I believe that takes her to 5 in total, which is very nice. I seem to have Wilders at 9 of 9, first out of any faction. Namora, Tassie, and Leica. Yeah, they're really, really strong pixel. The Wilders in general are probably one of the strongest, if not the best faction, just overall with their abilities. What they bring to teams are amazing. It's very, very, very strong. So there we get a 4th piece for Oden. Get a 5th piece there for Lucy. Kren stays at 3, which is good. So essentially, I'm going to bank cards on the table. Probably get Lucy up to 9 of 9 next, which remember, that's going to make the Hellfire ability permanent, which is very, very strong. Wu, we still haven't seen any. Orthos, we haven't seen any. But we'll need one more pull, and we'll have that done. So not too bad. Guys, we're making a lot of progression in here, which is always, always good to see. 34-40, this is where we're at. So let's take a look at the Abyssal Expedition. This is what a lot of people will see. I went full celerity. So essentially, my job in this Abyssal Expedition is just making sure that I'm going through and making connections. So if you look here, even at the lands I have a bunch of town 2s, but down here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 movement tiles here, which again is what I'm focusing on. So I keep usually 6 to 8 tiles, which are, I play more of a support role in the Abyssal Expedition. So essentially here I connect tiles when we're moving through here. Even here, these are all my tiles. I took a few here to replace my village 2s and 3s. So I connect here, making our progression. This is the way that we're headed up through here, just like we've seen from all of the guides, is I will take the blank spaces to continue our progression all the way up to the boss, which is right here. So looking at the map, we're very, very close to the Abyssal Expedition. And as you see, so we move door to door. Nope, this is Augustus. This is the real server, or the global server. So essentially what we do is once we hit this door, and this is really a point for players, is making it door to door is, yep, I'm a pather board, is going door to door. So essentially once we hit this door, boom, all of our players stacked here, we move through. So once we hit this door, and the players stack against this door, just like here, that is when we break all of the other paths, all of the back paths you can drop at that point, once essentially this connection has been made. And we usually keep this connection up for a little bit of time. We don't want to hinder the resources that we're getting out of here, just because you want to stack against the door. You don't want to leave any players behind, because essentially they're going to use all their stamina again to go ahead and catch up to the rest of the raid. They're going to be burning through tiles just because, let's say, I didn't want to keep the pathing tiles. I dropped the pathing tiles. Now other players are using, you're essentially using all of your stamina to continue your progression to build a bridge to catch up to people that you were already there. So it's a very, very tough trade-off. But essentially, as you see, the green is completely connected. Once we hit the boss, we usually give it a day. Once everyone is kind of collected right around this boss, so you'll actually see it fill in all the way down here and kind of a big kind of arcing pattern around the boss. Once we're there, they will give the okay in chat to go ahead and take away those tiles. Those pathing tiles, we'll remove the pathing tiles, and then we'll go ahead and spread out within this area to take all of the places that we need to. Essentially, it is how the Abyssal Expedition works. Once we get enough relics, it's going through the next boss, especially just like the first boss, is very, very important to time this. What's going on, Dark-Hearted? So a lot of people don't time this, meaning that once they hit the boss, so boom, players day one, they hit the boss, they start attacking the boss. You're burning through stamina, you're burning through all of your resources, you're going through all of your heroes. If you just delay, so if you actually take a little bit of time, build up on this boss, make sure your relics are to a certain point. When you're using your heroes, when you're going through your stamina, you're going to burn through this boss very, very quickly because you're strong enough to fight him. That's kind of the biggest thing, is if you attack too early, you're going to burn through all of your stamina, doing minimal damage because your relics aren't strong enough. Where if you just waited, not only would you have stronger relics to kill out the boss, is you'll do it much more efficient. You won't go through as much of your stamina beating out the boss because you have the relics to support it. So that's kind of the point. This is all about cooperation and teamwork. That is really the big thing. Just like Darkblade said, unfortunately, my team for the AE is already breaking the main path. We keep it gate to gate. Is 10K an hour good? Yes, Shaniel, that is where you'll usually stop. So usually about 10K. 10K is the goal. Right now, I'm at 48. When we start getting to the boss, we usually pause around 10K. 10K an hour is the goal. It's where you want to get to. Once you're there, that's pretty much where you're going to be for the rest of the Abyssal Expedition. It is around 10K. 10K to 12K, roughly, depending on how many things. Yep. And there you go, board. 10K, that's the end goal of where you want to be. Is essentially where you're going to be at the end. So I believe last Abyssal Expedition, I was at about 11, just under 11, when we finished the Abyssal Expedition, which again, I am a pather. So really knowing your role is another big part. I play the support class. That's why I have so many of those movement tiles. Is playing the support role is just as important as playing other roles. So when you look at a player like Board is much, much higher. He's got, 30, 40, 50 levels on my heroes. So if I can allow him to take, city 1s, city 2s, even if I come in here, let's say I kill out the first camp, Board can come in, take out the second camp, giving him elite level resources as well as a significant boost to the essence. It is more of the support role. You have to have people to play the support role to be able to take down the bigger cities earlier is really the other big thing. So pairing up with either a guild, pairing up with a couple other players really makes a huge, huge difference in the Abyssal Expedition. Not selfishly trying to take, town 1s and city 1s by yourself, but going through and actually playing the teamwork that the Abyssal Expedition is built on. So even if you go and chat and you coordinate kind of with a couple other heroes or a couple other players, even if it's a very, very small group, if you have 5 or 7 of you, which is very, very strong, is taking out, again, a lot of these earlier. But when you look here, it being in red, this means chances are it is difficult. If a land is difficult, since this city 2 is difficult, I'm not even going to attempt it. Chances are I might be able to kill 1, 2 heroes with them all having all level 5 relics. It is going to be impossible for me to kill this right now because of the difficulty of the stage. That's really the big thing to note. 1, you do get legendary relics, which is good. The essence is good. But look, 240 or 280 an hour. The smaller towns, which we've been taking, like right here, 240 an hour. It's only 40 more. And the city 2s are very, very difficult. That's really the big thing, is the city 2s, the relics go from level 4, as you see here, to level 5 when you start hitting the city 2s, making it, again, a lot more difficult because of the higher relic and the higher abilities that the enemies possess. Also, keep an eye out, of course, on the Blade of Punishment. These can destroy a team. And again, this is where it takes teamwork, guys. I cannot stress it enough, is if I'm running, I have 15 or 20 heroes. Of those 15 or 20 heroes, I might have 3 to 5 Lightbearer heroes, meaning that either I can take one team or I can take the second team. Chances are breaking my 5 Lightbearer heroes into a 3-man team and a 2-man team is not going to be strong enough to take it, especially if it's stronger. Is really the big thing. The big thing here is you don't want to waste your stamina. Even if it's a failed battle, you don't want to lose. 110% you don't want to lose. It costs 12 stamina, but you don't want to continue to reset if you know there's no chance essentially to go ahead and kill this out. So if you don't have a chance to kill the camp, don't attempt it. You're just wasting your stamina, and you only accumulate 4 stamina an hour. So you're very, very limited with the stamina essentially that you can use, which is very difficult. I'm playing AFK Arena on Android. I'm planning to change to iOS. How does the transfer work? So the only way that you can actually do that, Apollo, that I know, that I use, is you have to link your Android account to Facebook. So if you link your Android account to Facebook, you can actually go on iOS. You can log into AFK Arena with Facebook. That's the only way that I found the transfer that worked, is going through both ways, is linking it. You have to link it to an outside account to actually go through and change the accounts essentially that are linked in there. So that's all we're doing. So going up, again, making more progression. So my heroes, again, I went celerity. Here's my celerity heroes, all ascended. Because remember, the ascension makes a difference. The signature item makes a difference. The furniture makes a difference. Also, the faction gear. So I have Wilder gear on Leica and Iran. They are maxed out with tier 2 gear, which the tier 2 does not make a difference. But as you can see from their levels, they are the first 2 here because they are the strongest. I do have them completely maxed out. They have the furniture. And then going on down with the star level with the power, ultimately celerity. So let's look at the relics. So this is, again, what we focus on and what we've kind of looked at before is essentially building relics. So if I'm building relics here within Endura's Might, I don't have any heroes. So right there, take out 2 celerities for Rowan and Twins. Hills, depending on your formation, again, this is really what I'm running. I'm running all the way to the boss kind of as fast as I can with celerity, which I'll swap them out. We have a formation that we'll put in for the Might. I'm actually going to do it soon once we do a push up a little bit more. But ultimately looking here, so I don't have any Might, I don't have any Fortitude, I don't have Sorcery, I don't have Substance. I am building celerity. So here is my celerity heroes as of right now. Again, the formation will change when we get to the boss killing formation. But this is what I'm building, and this is what I'm building all the way up to the point that I need it, which again, I'll show you in just a minute. My theory about how we're doing. So here, again, focused on celerity, I need a little bit more to build up the last relic, getting me up to my 4 stars there, which is going to be very, very strong in here. So the other big thing to look at is I am already an Earl. So we've made significant progression in here right now. So a couple things the 2 things you want to really note on here is 1, acquire 4 legendary blessed relics. So when you get to this point, and again, running celerity as I am, acquire 4 legendary blessed relics. That is my goal. So the way that I really look at it, I am trying to acquire 4 legendary blessed relics to go ahead and fill this need on the Earl level, whether it's going through and building up my relics, my celerity tree. If it means taking more camps, I know I can move very, very well. I know I can take the town 1s and 2s right now with the team that I built, but acquiring 4 legendary blessed relics is essentially my goal. That's my goal. That's what I'm focused on right now. Once I acquire this, so once I get a little bit more essence and I acquire this, so once this one is done, then I go right to the next requirement, which is reach level 3 with all core relics. So right there, we do have to end up building to go past Earl. We have to build the Might, we have to build the Fortitude, the Sorcery, and the Substance already up to level 3. Right now, they're all level 1, meaning there is going to be a significant investment of resources once I hit my goal of the 4 legendary blessed relics. So essentially, once I hit level 4 with my celerity tree, once I get my 4 legendary blessed relics, I should have no problem theoretically taking city 1s, help, maybe even taking City 2s with 4 Blessed Relics, meaning that I can take everything but Tier 8. So now keeping that in mind, Tier 8 is the strongest, I mean, the biggest ones that you get into even over here. When you start getting into the really big cities, which here we go. So the ones like this, when you start getting into the large cities, the Tier 8s, these are group. These are what you want to focus on once you get to the boss, once you start progressing a lot through the Abyssal Expedition. This is something that is going to take, required to get Prince, but the stronger you are, the easier it is. Just like we've stressed really the entire Abyssal Expedition, the more relics you have, the more teams you have built, the stronger you are, the easier these monster cities are going to be. They're going to be easier to take down. They're even going to be a lot easier when it comes to the overall group. So if I'm leveled up and board level is leveled up and a lot of the players within the Abyssal Expedition are leveled up, this is going to be really easy for board to take out, you know, group 1 and group 2. I can kill out the third group to go ahead and take the land. It's going to be easier essentially with you having stronger teams, essentially. Stronger teams, more relics overall when you get there. What are the best comps against Aziz? So when it comes to the bosses, the best team comps that we're going to find are going to be your might teams. So they are going to be the Izolds. They are going to be Izold works really well. Saurus works really well. There are a couple teams, and the big thing, Sylvan, is there's no set teams. There are and there aren't. So essentially, if I built all celerity, so when I get to the boss, when I do attacks on the boss, I'm going to use celerity because celerity is by far my strongest suit. So it's what I built. That's where it kind of goes back either ways. There's boss comps that work well. Again, the twins with Saurus, the twins with Izold, Izold with Silas max out. Anything to really get up the boss killing comps are very, very strong. But the other ones, the other relic trees will work well. They will work very, very good when it comes to essentially killing out the boss, especially because remember, when you get to the boss, it is split 70 heroes. You have 35 and 35. So not only that is you're going to have 35 other heroes hitting this boss. It is not about, oh, one person is doing absolutely amazing. This is the team comp they're using. It's working really well. If you have 35 people that are building the identical team comp to kill one boss specifically, when you get to the end boss, a lot of times either you're going to be out of energy or it's going to be very, very difficult because bosses do take different things. That's why when it comes to the team comp or the bosses that you win or you're going with, there are a lot of heroes that work really well. So even in this tree, Cecilia works really well. Drez does absolutely amazing. Ezio for camps, not for the boss, but for camps do really well. Kaz does well because Kaz has poison, which is very strong. Even looking here, again, we talked about Izold, we talked about Saurus. In the support tree, so looking here, the twins, absolutely a necessity out of here. Mortis does really well. Silas does really, really well. Rose for support, additional damage, again, can do really well. Rain brings a 30% buff, especially if you have to have her furniture, but brings a 30% damage increase on bosses. Again, very, very strong. So there's a lot of heroes that do well in here, that do a ton of damage, even in the main, the mage class. You know, Sophia, we have Belinda, who is huge for burst. We have Ainz. You know, there are mages in here which are very, very strong, coupled with support to really maximize their damage. So essentially, it depends on what you built is really the big thing when it comes down to when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition, it's really dependent on what you build. Is Drez better than Cecilia or Cecilia better than Drez? Sam, honestly, they're both very similar when it comes to the build. So Drez essentially operates on shields. So when he ults, he does get a shield. Cecilia has damage mitigation. So ultimately, when your relics get high enough, the boss isn't going to kill you. So in that case, I believe Cecilia will do more damage. Now, if the boss is killing you out, let's say with 25 seconds left, or there's still going to be some time left, then Drez will do better because of the shield with the survivability. So it really depends on who you built. My highest hero in the Resonating Crystal is 160. Should ascending Isolde to Mythic? I would. Isolde is a hero you're going to build, Guardian Jane. Especially at Mythic, you can unlock his signature item. He does well, especially the further you get him built, the better he does with scaling. He's a hero you're going to build, which is very, very good. The other thing to remember in here is when it comes to the Fortitude tree. Now, a lot of players neglect the Fortitude tree, which is very, very important because they own this buff, the Resilience buff. Heroes receiving this blessing are immune to the negative effects caused by settlements, meaning that when they have the sun, when they have the big reduction from settlements, which we've seen here, they do not get this debuff. So they will not lose 50% health. They will not be stunned, and also having the attack rating reduced. They will not get it. So essentially, the role that they play, and this is kind of how Lilith built them as well, is let's say I have 3 celerity heroes that I have in the Wilder faction. The Wilder faction. So I only have 3 heroes. I can put Fortitude heroes in there that are not going to receive this buff because of their ability, their level 3 ability, which as we know at the end of Earl, all of these will be level 3 because they require all of your levels to be level 3 for all of the other ones. So I can essentially pop in a hero like Scrag. I can pop in a hero like Gorvo. We can put in, Grez, Damon. There's a couple different Thorin, a couple different heroes that you can put in place of heroes you do not possess is really the big thing. So if I was looking here and I wanted to take this tier 7 by myself, now I need 10 Wilder heroes. Chances are, again, you're not going to have 10 Wilder heroes. If you do, it's not going to be of the specific class that you're looking for. So I'm not going to have 10 Wilder Ranger heroes because they're limited. I can fill those slots with Fortitude heroes as you do progression because essentially they're going to help support the heroes that you have, the Wilders that you have, not getting the buff out of here. But again, when it comes with making progression the easiest, most simple way, the reason why a lot of players really fail in the Abyssal Expedition is because they don't have other people that they're partnered with. If, again, using board as an example, if we're here taking this City 2, I kill out the first team, board takes out the second team, boom, very easy. I use minimal stamina because I put in my best heroes. Board uses minimal stamina as well because he put in his best heroes. And then, of course, I can also rely on my Wilder class, or I can use my my Fortitude class. That way I'm not getting the nasty debuff that comes with that city, and we can very easily overcome some of the harder battles within the Abyssal Expedition. Ideally, these are the perfect ones like this. I found it. There's no faction specific requirements, meaning that when I fight this one, I'm not going to get that nasty debuff that comes with fighting those. Yep, and that's it. Board setup perfect. It's the camp trading. That is really the way that you want to approach this. Again, this is a massive event. To really do well and to really be successful in it, it does take cooperation. It does take teamwork going through here. If you're trying to move with a very small group, you're supposed to come through with 35 on each side. If you're trying to stress it with 12, it's going to be a lot more difficult, and it is going to be a lot more difficult to go through the Abyssal Expedition just because the heroes are lacking the support of other heroes, other players to pull through here. Very, very easy. Even for me personally, because I know I do have a couple Village 3s, I will drop out some of the Village 3s. We'll either pick up probably Town 4s, because remember, you want to advance 2. So if I'm dropping a 3, I want to go to a 5. If I'm dropping a 5, you want to go to a 7, vice versa. 5 is the sweet spot. So when you look at Town 2 Tier 5s, these are the sweet spots. So essentially, if I stacked up right now, so I have 35 of 35. If I stacked up 35 tier 2s, I would actually get elite relics, 200 an hour, plus your bonus here of 20%. So we would get a significant amount of resources with town 2s. So again, as you're progressing through here, the majority, the bulk of the places you're going to have are going to be town 2s. So holding on to these town 2s. So going through here, again, I have quite a few town 2s. I have a couple town 1s. Down here, I have some village 3s. And then, of course, my movement tiles. So I will be dropping out village 3s. I will be picking up the town 2s. The town 2s that I am picking up at that time, when I pick up the town 2, so essentially I will drop this one out. I will pick up this town 2. The town 2s I am going to hold for the rest of the Abyssal Expedition. Based on our team, based on casuals, based on my guild, based on my role in here, the town 2s, I'll pick up a couple tier 6s, maybe 1 or 2 tier 7s, and then I will take 1 tier 8 with the help of my teammates to get prints. I might hold it, I might just drop it for someone else to pick it up, but the tier 5s, the tier 6s are going to be the bulk of everything I want to hold. Again, I play the support role. I am a pather when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition, meaning that players like Board, I want to feed them tier 6s, I want to feed them tier 7s, tier 8s, so they can stack assets, they can stack relics, they can stack resources to take out bosses very, very easy. So essentially, once I build my relic in celerity, let's say to tier 5, tier 5.2, or level 5.2, once I'm at that level, because of feeding other players, feeding other heroes within your team, Board can have this completely maxed out because of the 6s and 7s and 8s that we're helping him take to go ahead and destroy bosses, doing way, way more damage than all of us just having 5.2, where he can have 5.6 in a single tier, allowing him again to maximize his damage and absolutely destroy the bosses when it comes to that point of the Abyssal Expedition. Because I know with my build being celerity, not the most ideal build, but again, everybody in the Abyssal Expedition plays a role, and this is the role that I play. So as players are coming through here, I'll help here. I'll take the, a 4 or a 5 getting up here. But again, these pathing tiles that I'm building, going through and connecting, essentially these, even here, since this is kind of up this way, we could drop probably a couple of these, making our solid path. Once we hit the boss, again, everything fans out from where we're at. Yep, T5 is the best resources. So even looking here at the map, we can see, I know you can't zoom in, but we have a snake kind of coming through here, and then straight up we'll zigzag right back to the boss right here. Once we hit that boss again, everyone kind of fans out, and then you'll see this snake essentially dissipate. It will just spread into this entire area. You'll see a massive, massive spread out. Big reason for that massive spread out in the Abyssal Expedition is we're taking resources, we're taking those the town 2s, we're taking the tier 5s, the tier 6s, the tier 7s in this location, getting ready to essentially move into this next location. Also, you'll see a majority of this very, very outer ring out here will disappear. So the village 2s, the village 3s, the tier 4s will disappear essentially out of here. So once you start getting into this area, especially the next area, tier 5 and plus are pretty much anyone's going to have. That's it. It is, you're going to have them absolutely maxed out. Tier 5 plus, when you start moving into this third zone, pretty much everything you are going to own is going to be 1 pathing tiles, which I keep 6, 8 to 10 pathing tiles at all times, or it's going to be tier 5 or higher. You'll get to the point. Yep, and that's exactly how you feed, the relics to a lot of other players, just to allow them to do the damage for you. It's not so much about the carry, it's more about the support that you offer for the team, which again, when it comes to sheer level. So looking at my heroes, I am on 279, where if you have players 300, 320, much, much higher, not only if I have here my Leica completely maxed out, but if Board is sitting in here and he has a level 320 Leica, they are going to just absolutely destroy the amount of damage that I can do. Just sheer level is going to make a big difference, which level, of course, when it comes to the factors, here you start getting into the multiplication factors. When you get into legendary relics, they actually have a significant boost to the amount of damage they'll do. So overall, there are no leaderboards. There are no accolades. So everything's kind of done at that point. Can they show us the power levels? The power levels in here just kind of vary by players. We have 157, 160. It just really varies greatly by how fast you're building through here. So essentially, relics, we want the strongest but when you look at Earls, I mean, almost everybody's an Earl kind of going through here, except we got some Viscounts down here and then one or two inactive, always something going on. But ultimately, remember, this is beta. So when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition this time, this is beta. That is really all it is. It is testing bosses. It is testing our new heroes that we got. It is testing team comps. Testing before this is kind of the dry run of the Abyssal Expedition to see what we're going to be in store for and see what we're going to be kind of all set with the next one. So very, very cool with the Abyssal Expedition. Again, it is something that I absolutely love running. I think it is probably one of the best, if not the best addition to AFK Arena. I love the amazing parts of it. Thoughts on the new hero? If you're talking about Ullard, he seems good. I know there's a lot of formations that he's kind of niche for. He is definitely going to have a place. It is really going to, you know, there are team comps like Soldier Boy was saying earlier with the Scrag Invade. There's going to be a lot of points where he is going to fill the niche exactly what he wants to be. Big thing with him is you have to invest in him. So he is another hero, unfortunately not like Mortis. He is going to take a significant amount of investment into both the signature item and the furniture. So right here, when you max out his plus 30 signature item and their attack rating is increased by 40% while the shield exists, 40% is absolutely huge. That is a massive, massive boost to the attack rating of a hero. That, of course, is furniture, is what gives the immunity to the entire team. But again, he's a hero we're going to get to Ascended. Might not use him right away because, again, he does take a very, very, very high investment. That's really the big thing is I look at the heroes, I look at the return, I look at the investment of the hero, and that's really the big thing is there's a lot of heroes that I would place kind of above him, again, because of the cost of the investment that he requires. So there's heroes that I would like to get 9 of 9. You know, similar to Lucy, I would absolutely love to get her built up to 9 of 9. There's a lot of heroes I would max out, again, prior to him. But as you continue progression, as you get further down the AFK Arena path, you're going to build him. You're going to get him out of, you know, the wish list. You might get him out of desired summons. There is a really, really strong purpose for him. But right now I'm not building him because, again, he is very expensive to build. Just like heroes like Athalia. Athalia, you have to have the signature item. You have to have the furniture to really maximize the damage that she puts out. If you don't, she's not as good. If you don't have the bleed effect right there from the plus 30 signature item, it's very, very hard to use the hero effectively if she doesn't have built, if you don't have her invested, if you don't have her built. Haven't decided yet if he's worth rushing since he requires so much investment. Yep, and that's it, board. So I know he does fit in a couple teams, which, okay, so I have Allard in the Scrag Evade. Works really well. The question often becomes, is he worth it when it comes to the investment? And also, is there another hero that essentially could fill the niche, fill the void, fill whatever you want to call it, that he fills? So essentially, if I'm even going through the campaign and I'm using Ullard, let's say in this formation, Is there another hero that essentially I could use in place, still finish out this campaign, that if I didn't even use the hero, would it make a difference? He's not a game-changing hero by any means. And again, the investment is very, very strong. Should I get 1 to 2 Mortis copies, or should I keep going for Lucy? Big thing with that board is with Mortis. Mortis is kind of unique because Mortis is a hero you don't have to invest in. Yeah, once you get Mortis to Elite Plus, essentially for a majority of players, Mortis will come into battle. Mortis will use his ability 4 times, so he will actually cast his ability 4 times, his ultimate ability. Once he uses the 4 times, he's done. If he dies, whatever. If he doesn't, whatever. You want him to go ahead and get his ultimate ability up on other heroes, to go ahead and give their attack rating and speed. Once he uses that ability 4 times, because the greed lasts till the end of battle, he can die. That is the reason he doesn't need his signature item. That is the reason he doesn't need his furniture. Super, super easy investment with Mortis. You have to have him at Elite Plus. He has to survive long enough to get out those 4 ultimate abilities, those 4 buffs. Once that's done, that's it. He does very, very minimal damage, even fully built. The damage with him is very, very low. There's no reason to have him short of Elite Plus. Until you start getting further in the Twisted Realm, you'll actually kill him out just due to sheer damage before he gets those 4 ultimate abilities out, which is where you have to buff him. And I did the same, so I was building up his signature item here. Again, signature item furniture he does not need, but it is the survivability. The big thing here with the hit points, boom, 825k. More defense, more attack, which attack and crit doesn't make a difference, but you have to build them to a point of survivability, which is the exact same token that we look at with the twins. That is why I say build the twins to Mythic. Once you have them at Mythic, get them to a +20 signature item. Is the issues with survivability. You have to have them survive. If you're doing a 1.5-minute battle, your twins are dying out at 30 seconds, 45 seconds, what have you, they're not going to be effective. You're going to be dying out much, much earlier than you should be because you don't have them built enough to survive. And that is going to go hand in hand, again, with bosses in the Twisted Realm. As you continue doing more and more damage in the Twisted Realm, as your levels go higher and higher, the boss in return does more damage, resulting in Mortis dying faster, twins dying faster. They have to live, or essentially you're not getting anything out of them. It is what you want to do. So guys, again, thank you for joining me. We got through halfway through the Misty Valley, and I know we spent a considerable amount of time on the Abyssal Expedition. I hope it really helped. I always get a ton of questions about the Abyssal Expedition. That's why we have a couple guides. The Ardian Alpex guide we put up as well. I really try to provide as much information as I can when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition, because it is very, very important. It is a key part of the game, not only for the rewards you get out of there, but you also do get some in the trading hub. I'm not sure if they're going to make more adjustments in here, but you do get stuff out of the trading hub, which is nice. So I'm actually looking to get some more elite stones, hopefully a couple more heroes out of here. But guys, that will do it for our stream for today, 34-40. Next time we come back, which will be probably Tuesday or Thursday, we're going to go ahead and try to finish out chapter 34. So we're going to spend some time on that, as well as finish out the last 10 levels of the Abyssal or the Misty Valley. So that'll be done as well. So really making some progression. As of right now, there is nothing that I've seen come up on the test realm as far as next events. It's been really, really quiet, which worries me. Most of the time when AFK Arena is really quiet, it means they're working on heroes, they're working on events, they're working on content. And if you guys have not noticed, especially if you're newer to the game, they do enjoy releasing a lot of stuff, usually at the same time. I know they don't want to go ahead and put out a lot of stuff at the same time when the Abyssal Expedition is going on, because this is a very, very big time sink when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition. So them not releasing anything right now, which is very good. Also remember, I know a lot of players have already started banking resources when it comes to the next dimensional hero, which we might see relatively soon. but we'll just essentially have to see what happens with the heroes that are coming. We still have 3 more days here. I started actually buying these stones down here because if you see, we have 88,000, almost 89,000. I haven't even done the Dismal Maze yet, and we're running out. So we'll actually pick up some of these. And this is because of my VIP level. Remember, I get 100% bonus, meaning whatever you guys pick up in the labyrinth, I get doubled because of my VIP level. That is the reason that it burns out so quick, why I have so many coins, especially when they're running a Labyrinth of Limbo event. It's not only do we get doubles from there, but I do get the 100% bonus because of VIP level, giving me a ton of tokens. So day 1, I'm gonna buy these red chests, which they're around 35K each. We can buy both those out. And by the end, I have these, and then I have an excess amount of lab tokens. Then, of course, here we're building Athalia. It's kind of the what's up and coming. Aziz is ascended, Flora is ascended, so it is going to be Athalia. Once I get Athalia ascended, then I believe it's going to be red chest, or I'll just continue to max out Aziz at that point. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining me today for the push. I hope, again, it was beneficial to a couple of you guys out there. The Abyssal Expedition, I absolutely love. Like I said earlier, it is a very, very cool event. Making sure that you're going in with a plan, who you're going to build, how you're going to build them makes a very, very big difference. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. I'm actually going to go on a bike ride. My daughter's birthday was yesterday. That's why I haven't been to making too much content right now. We have a lot of things going on. We are on VIP 15 as of right now. This is the pay to win account, meaning that anything we get in donations, anything we get from YouTube, anything in super chats, anything at all, even from the memberships, we put back into this account. We're waiting for the new event, which hopefully it's going to be up pretty soon, or the new dimensional hero, so we can just pick him up when he releases. So guys, again, thank you guys for joining me. Have a good rest of your day. And of course, thank you guys for watching.